bit by way of background. I think you know sort of how my district's drawn in terms of what I represent, the area. And the Benson Center is right at the bottom of my district. It, generally speaking, runs along the west side of 400 all the way up to the top end of the county, and then down to just below here. There may be actually one parcel that's just on the other side of the center, and that's where the district ends. I live in the Milton area. I've been a North Fulton resident for a little over 20 plus years, a Georgia native. Grew up in Commerce, Georgia. If folks, you know where that's at, up near Athens. Certainly senior services, I think, is a strength of Fulton County, and we always want to have it continue to be a strength. So I'm very interested in sort of the different things that you all have going on with the Friends group here, what's going on at the center, and I think over the course of the next few years, certainly what we do in terms of activities in the seniors arena is going to change. Many of our communities are changing. Recognize the aging in place issues and how critical it is. Those issues are that we're responding to them. So, and I like to listen. I like to hear concerns and try to be as proactive as possible in terms of addressing them. So, thanks for having me, and I look forward to learning a little bit more about the different things that you have going on.
Thank you, Commissioner Ellis, and I enjoyed seeing you at our Valentine's party.
That was a lot of fun, and I think it's pretty cool. I mean, just to see the community that you all have here, and that's really what it's all about. I mean, thanks for having me, and that was really just neat to see, and for me to kind of really understand how critical and important our centers are and the role that they play in our community. So thanks for having me, and thanks for inviting me to that.
Appreciate it.
While I have a captive audience, both you and Sheila, we have a problem here that's been going on for about 2 years, longer than that really. We've been trying to get the tag office moved from a huge room where they take 10% of the space into another space that's been prepared for it. It's been an annoyance for the past 2 years, but now it's critical because we're about to begin the reconstruction on the crack in the foundation, which is going to take some of our classrooms, and we badly need that space.
Okay.
So I'm asking both of you, please help us get that accomplished.
I think it has to do at this point with the moving of the
Safe.
It's safe.
It's safe, yeah.
Which has been a struggle for
the last
2 years.
Just
At least
close
2
it off,
years.
seal it off,
Okay.
and put
that's
another one in.
that's the way it is.
All right.
This has been a long time.
It's more than 2 years.
Andre?
It's a little bit more than the safe, but the safe is a big part. It's the safe, it's the cabling for the computers, because the tag office is not just on Fulton County system, but also on the state system. So it's not a lot, but it's a little bit more than safe. But we did estimate that it might be somewhere around $3,500 to have that moved, so we're working on trying to get that.
What's the utilization of it?
They're open 2 days a week,
Oh, they should so appreciate it.
which is a
Not
great service.
Yeah.
The
But
people
actually,
love
we
it.
think that the assigned space for them actually works better for them once they get moved. And again, we appreciate that space, but we appreciate their appearance here, but they don't need to be in a huge.
Not the best
Yeah, there's only
utilization of space.
2 or 3 people there at a time.
And I
That's
can
the size
tell
of
you
it.
from personal experience that we have been battling this thought for, what, 8 years, really?
At least
Probably.
we
At least.
had the commissioner out here, and he said, no problem, we'll take care of it. And that was over 2 years ago.
Well over.
Well, we're gonna take
I
care
better
of
not promise anything then. It doesn't take place.
We went after.
Do you
It's
have a
critical.
relocation area?
Oh, yes,
It's
it's all
already
set.
It's already there.
It's all ready to go.
They even sent the architect out and had everything right, you know. but just
Can
didn't
the
move.
big room be utilized if the safe stays?
Oh,
It's
we
a-
have so many
No.
things they're fighting over, who's gonna get it?
Yes, it can be utilized even if.
We'll show
So if it
you.
can't be
You
moved,
like.
another one could be
Put in.
put in.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Oh,
Yes,
You know, I'm in the construction field, that's not a big problem. It's just a question of getting people to get it.
I do want to say that Andre and I had a chance to meet on yesterday, and this was one of the items that we spoke about. I have identified the funding in the budget that can address the relocation of the tax office. So I don't think it'll be a problem. We just need to get you a timeline of when we can have it
just
done.
get it done.
Because we don't want to impact programming, and we know the programs are growing, you know, extremely fast, and so we want to maximize all of the space in the facility. So I'm committing to you, that it won't be another 2 years. Hopefully it won't be enough, hopefully we can do it in 90 days, but we are gonna work to
Great.
get that done.
I
Thanks
really
for raising
appreciate it. Before I turn the floor over to you, Sheila, and given the presence of the commissioner, I would like to say one or two things about Sheila Benefield. Because I really think you need to know as a new commissioner. Sheila, of course, has worked elsewhere and for Fulton County, and then came to the Office of Education, and of course, the first thing that, Office of Aging, excuse me. And then, of course, we see we're going to be presented with a new administrator. That's always fun to educate a new administrator and so on. Well, our eyes were promptly opened because Sheila hit the ground running. I really think she found her natural home in the Office of Aging. She enjoys the challenge. And so all of a sudden to have this person who's full of energy, high intelligence, extremely capable, ready to move, quickly in touch with all the people, has just been
Wonderful.
an unalloyed blessing. And I speak for everybody on this board.
A doer.
Absolutely.
And the way I like to think of it is there are good administrators and there are marginal administrators. Obviously, Sheila's a wonderful administrator. She understands the process and mechanisms involved, but she's much more than that. Sometimes you find, very occasionally, you find an administrator who's also an effective, results-oriented manager, meaning she understands the value of time. She is focused on results, getting things done. She has indeed been a breath of fresh air, and I want you to know, Commissioner Ellis, that without exception, we on the board greatly appreciate her presence. I'm not sure we'll agree with everything you have to say about the budget, but greatly appreciate her presence here. She's done a great job. We think she's an enormous resource to Fulton County and to the aging populace in general in this county. And as we look ahead, we know, as we get lectured by Benson from time to time, that the magnitude of the challenges ahead of us, given the demographics, the growth in the aging population, we have enormous challenges ahead. But I think Sheila is up to the challenge. She's a great person to have on the team, and we appreciate her every day. Robert?
Just for the record, she is the interim director, so I would be very leery of any changes in, directors.
I think,
Follow what I'm saying?
I think he can figure out.
Yeah, I
that
know,
message.
we have an interim problem within Fulton County. We're gonna start picking that apart, you know, fairly quickly.
Well, what Bill is saying is we have an excellent representative,
Yeah.
and we would hate to see it go where it's been sometimes before.
I understand.
All right.
First time we feel like we're partners with Fulton County instead of antagonists with Fulton County.
Victims. Victims.
All right,
Thank you for that.
before we lose ourselves in this flaming rhetoric, I want to turn the floor over to Sheila for comments on the county budget.